Lafarge Africa and the Lagos State government have signed a memorandum of understanding for the collection of non-recyclable combustible waste from across the state and landfill sites for conversion into alternative fuel at Lafarge Ewekoro plant. On this episode of Focus On, we'll bring you highlights from the signing ceremony and how Lafarge Africa plans to use waste to boost cement production. Hello and welcome. I'm Akin Obakeye. The signing ceremony of a memorandum of understanding between the Lagos State government and Lafarge Africa will see Lafarge Africa gets non-recyclable combustible waste for its waste-to-energy solutions. Waste being a major concern for the Lagos State government, the Zero Waste to Dumpsite initiative is expected to drive significant benefits across multiple fronts for Lafarge Africa, Lagos State, and the environment.
We initiated discussion on municipal solid waste, and it's important for us to gain deeper insights into what we're doing. So we ran a pilot. We completed a pilot project at Ushodi Transfer Loading Station. This groundwork has provided invaluable data, shaping the strategy we're here to implement today. Our partnership with the Ministry of Environment and LOMA is built on a clear objective. It is about achieving zero waste to landfill. We believe this is possible. And with today's milestone, it indicates a great journey ahead. We believe that through this initiative, we'll collect and process municipal solid waste, process all this waste and create an alternative fuel sources in our cement production and reducing the pressure on fossil fuel. By redirecting waste from companies and dump sites across Lagos to our Ewekoro plants, we are taking a significant step forward towards a cleaner, more sustainable future for this generation and the next. All of this will be powered by geocircular waste management arm in Lafarge Africa PLC. At Lafarge Africa PLC, sustainability is not just a cliche. It is part of our strategic pillars. It's our corporate objective, and it is embodied in our DNA. As a leader in building solutions and responsible corporate citizens, we recognize that managing waste effectively is very critical to environmental stewardship. It's also very instrumental to community well-being and long-term economic development. This partnership will strengthen Lafarge Africa PLC's leadership in sustainable construction and climate action.
Commissioner for the Environment and Water Resources for Lagos State, Tokunbo Wahab, stresses the importance of sustainable waste management and environmental preservation.
But we have a duty to our people. We have a duty to this earth to make it better than we met it. And we are at the last bastion to help save it from going on. So, sustainable path to it is the only way out of it. As a state, we're aiming towards zero footprint, carbon footprint. And what we are about to do today ticks the box for us. Lagos generates between 13,000 and 15,000 tons of waste a day. A day. That is humongous. But we have stopped complaining. We have said to ourselves, we must address it frontally as a state. Waste is a culture. And it's a culture you must imbibe and build over time. Separation of waste here today, this plastics must be in this particular bin tomorrow, this paper must be in a different bin. It's a culture we must build. And we are hell-bent that we must build it. So what Lafarge is actually doing with Lagos State is to help us towards the ultimate objective of the zero waste situation, or reduce the quantum of or the quantity of waste that ends up at the landfills. We have the waste you have the use for it. And waste is not waste until or unless you carry that waste. There is value in it globally. So if this will go a long way to help us reduce what we are generating in Lagos that goes to the landfills, we're thanking Lafarge.
As both parties signed the necessary documents to kickstart a mutually beneficial agreement, the initiative will be championed by Geocycle, an initiative of Lafarge Africa.
Geocycle was created to more or less go away from the pure cement making to start looking at other things that we can do, and we are responsible for that. So this signing of MoU today guarantees us an opportunity to take the next level of investment, because I need an assurance to put this investment down. Today, in our facility in Ewekoro and Calabar, we are already putting an equipment that allows me to be able to feed in waste into my operation. We call it co-processing. But then I need the waste today to pre-process it to be able to feed. So this will also call for the next investment. Without this MoU, it's difficult to move forward. Yes, I'm able to do the first one because there are other alternatives like biomass. But the major challenge with biomass is that our agricultural setup in Nigeria is so fragmented. Today I'm traveling as far to Edo to source for the same material. So logistics is making it not sustainable, because after the removal of fuel subsidy, it's becoming a messy. So now, but then we have the same waste in the dump site everywhere. Lagos State, all the dump sites that I know today is full. So when we start this, it helps Lagos State to start decreasing the volume of waste that go to the same dump site, where they're also looking at other activity to reduce the waste. But at least we can start taking up some waste, and this will go a long way because it will impact the environment. It means any waste come to me is no more on the dump site. It's clear, it's clean, and that's the advantage. Last year, I replaced 38% of my energy need with waste, and that waste are biomass wastes. Now, so which means if I take away that from biomass, I need about 180,000 tons of a similar waste in Lagos State, and that's about 38%. My ultimate target is about 80% to replace my fossil fuel, 80%. So by the time I get to 80%, you'll be talking almost the range of 1 million, But today, as of last year, with 37%, it's about 180,000 tons of all sorts of waste, biomass, some waste from industry, that we use together. And like I told you, transport element is making it a mess. So, but with this opportunity now, it means I can source the thing from Lagos. I can manage my transport element, because from Lagos to Ewekoro, it's about maybe 80 kilometers. So it helps me to be able to drive the next phase of the project. I want to achieve 80% of my fuel replacement instead of me using gas to waste. So which means I can actually drive the next phase of the project now.
A lot of waste ends up at the dump site. Commingled waste, industrial waste, and the like all ends up at the dump site. Our responsibility is to collect the non-recyclable, combustible non-recyclable waste from the dump sites and industries, and then use them as alternative fuel. By so doing, you reduce the volume of waste going to the dump site. You have a very environmental friendly space, and then you're actually saving the environment as a whole. And this is part of our decarbonization goal in Lafarge Africa PLC. Our plan is to ensure that we manufacture cement that actually has low CO2.
The significance of the MoU today shows that we will take it a step further to create a sustainable waste management process for Lagos State. We envision that this will go beyond just Lagos State over time to other states in Nigeria and across Nigeria as a whole. We look forward to partnering in reality and in operational excellence with Lagos State to ensure that we collect the waste and we also transform the waste into a resource, into energy that is beneficial. And so we can use products in Nigeria, cement products that are sustainable, that reduces carbon emissions, and we can be proud that we are not emitting carbon emissions to the society.
According to the Managing Director of the Lagos State Waste Management Authority, MoU Alade-Akinyemi, the daily volume of solid waste taken to landfill sites in the state is around 13,000 tons. He sheds more light on how this partnership is pivotal to addressing the challenges of waste management facing the state.
Before now, we have landfill sites where we take the bulk of the solid waste to, The daily volume is about 13,000 tons. And you will agree with me that that's a lot. And because of the peculiar topography of Lagos State, we've run out of space in our landfills, and there are no new sites that we can easily open. You know, the not in my backyard phenomenon, NIMBY. Nobody wants a landfill near them. And that's why over the last few years, we've been looking for alternatives. What do we do with this volume of waste that is being generated daily by the huge population, fast growing? And so that's why this partnership is critical. Now, Lafarge is going to take the non-recyclable combustible waste, and they're going to divert that to the cement kiln. So that's a huge relief for us. It means that just as we're recycling a lot of recyclable waste, we'll be able to take those things that are not easily recyclable or that are expensive to recycle, and we can dispose of them with no residue whatsoever. There is more than enough waste. We've done a lot of studies already. We did a pilot study to see whether they could get, the required volume, and we are sure of them. And that's also, part of the reason for signing this MoU. We're giving them the full backing of Lagos State government to ensure that they'll get, they'll have access to whatever, amount of waste they need. We have more than enough. We will have a collection site at the landfill. We'll start with manual sorting, and so that, this is going to create jobs. We have people who will sort through the waste and pick out, the required items, the types of items. They'll be trained for that. They'll have the necessary protective equipment. And, they have, Lafarge has worked out some of the logistics, but we're here and ready to support them. As you know, we are probably one of the biggest logistics organizations around the country. And so we're here to support and make sure that it works so that they can take the waste at cost-effective way to the cement kiln at Ewekoro.
As the Lagos State government is aiming towards a zero carbon footprint, the partnership with Lafarge Africa is one in many across the recycling value chain the state is taking advantage of. And that's all on this episode of Focus On. I'm Aki Obake. Until next time, it's bye for now.